Luxury cars. They're the greatest paradox on four wheels. Breathtaking to look at, absurdly expensive, and let's be honest, often heartbreakingly unreliable. And yet, we still dream about owning one. Because luxury isn't just about driving, it's about feeling something. The craftsmanship, the badge, the sound of an engine that makes your heart race. But what if I told you that some luxury cars don't just look like a dream? They live like one too. What if a few rare models out there quietly broke the stereotype, lasting hundreds of thousands of miles, while others crumble at the first warning light? Today, we're diving into those exceptions, the 13 luxury cars that defy the odds, the ones that keep running strong long after the warranty runs out. Some of these names won't surprise you. Hello, Japan. But a few, they'll completely mess with your expectations. Because in this list, you'll see cars from brands infamous for sky-high repair bills. And yet, they somehow pulled off a miracle. Before you spend a small fortune chasing a dream car, make sure it's not a dream that turns into a financial nightmare. Because these 13 models prove one thing. True luxury isn't about how much you pay up front. It's about how little you regret it years later. Let's start with a legend that never learned how to quit. If there's one car that refuses to age, break, or lose respect, it's this one. The Porsche 911 991 generation is the living definition of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Except here's the plot twist. Porsche didn't fix it because it never broke. When most luxury sports cars demand constant care, the 991 generation quietly built a reputation for near bulletproof reliability. The 2015 model even scored an astounding 94 out of 100 in J.D. Power's Quality and Reliability Index, a number that leaves most supercars in the dust. Underneath that timeless silhouette lies one of the most obsessively engineered machines on the planet. Every switch, every dial, every inch of that flat-six engine feels like it was designed by someone who hates imperfection. Porsche didn't chase trends, it chased endurance. But not everyone was happy. Purists complained that the 991 was too modern. They said Porsche was selling out, making the car easier to drive, more digital, less raw. And yet sales soared. Reviews skyrocketed. And even the critics had to admit, this was the first 911 that could handle a track day on Sunday and a 300-mile commute on Monday without breaking a sweat. Today, a well-kept 991 still commands serious respect and serious money. A 2015 GT3 coupe can cost as much as several luxury sedans combined. But here's the secret. That's not overpricing. That's proof. Proof that some dreams hold their value because they earn it. Because when a car looks like art, drives like adrenaline, and outlasts its own warranty, you realize reliability isn't just practical, it's powerful. And speaking of power that refuses to quit, our next car is built like a tank, dressed like a diplomat, and engineered to outlive your mortgage. Now, if the Porsche 911 is the elegant athlete, the Lexus GX 460 is the unstoppable tank that shows up to a black tie event in body armor. Built on Toyota's legendary Land Cruiser platform, this thing doesn't just drive, it endures. For over 15 years, the GX 460 proved that luxury doesn't have to be fragile. It's not the flashiest SUV, or the fastest, or even the most modern looking. But here's the magic. It just keeps going. Owners swear by its old school charm. Hydraulic suspension? Still strong. V8 engine? Practically immortal. Interior? A time capsule of quality. You can find one of these from 2009 still hauling families, climbing trails, and running smoother than SUVs half its age. When Toyota finally retired it for the newer GX 550, fans didn't celebrate. They panicked. Because the GX 460 wasn't discontinued for being bad. It was discontinued because it lasted too long. It's the kind of vehicle that laughs in the face of depreciation. While most luxury SUVs crumble in value, This one holds the line. A used GX460 in good condition can fetch an eye-watering price for something that's technically old. Why? Because people know exactly what they're buying. Peace of mind. Sure, it's not a speed demon. It won't win drag races or turn heads at valet stands. But when every warning light in your friend's Range Rover lights up like a Christmas tree, the GX just sits there idling, quietly, patiently, undefeated. It's proof that real luxury isn't about the badge, it's about longevity. And Lexus nailed it. But don't get too comfortable, because up next is a German luxury car that completely rewrote its brand's reputation, a Mercedes that shocked everyone by not falling apart. You probably didn't expect to see the words Mercedes and reliable in the same sentence. But here we are. Because the Mercedes-Benz E-Class W212 isn't just an exception, it's a full-blown redemption story. Between 2009 and 2016, Mercedes quietly pulled off something no one thought possible. After years of horror stories about electrical gremlins, transmission failures, and dashboards that aged faster than milk, the W212 rolled in, strong, beautiful, and engineered to last. The design was sharp, the build quality was pure German craftsmanship, and under the hood, something magical happened. Owners started reporting E-classes crossing 300,000, even 500,000 miles. That's taxicab level endurance in a car built for CEOs. The secret? Mercedes finally went back to its roots. Solid engineering over flashy tech. The W212 ditched the experimental nonsense that doomed its predecessor, the W211, and replaced it with bulletproof mechanics and timeless design. And yet, it's not flawless. No legend ever is. Look out for small issues, water pump failures, injector leaks on diesel versions, and some corrosion around the rear subframe. But these aren't deal breakers. They're maintenance footnotes on an otherwise indestructible chapter in Mercedes history. The best part? You can find a used E-Class W212 in great condition for under 10 grand. That's right, one of the most dependable luxury sedans ever built, for less than a new economy hatchback. It's the car that made critics eat their words and made owners believe in Mercedes again. Because sometimes luxury isn't about reinvention, it's about remembering what made you great in the first place. And speaking of comebacks, our next car isn't just a return to form. It's an engine so good, it single-handedly saved a brand's reputation. If Mercedes found redemption through design, BMW found it through engineering genius. Because when the world had almost given up on BMW's reliability, the company dropped an engine so good, it made car enthusiasts forget the pain of every leaky gasket and electrical nightmare that came before it. Enter the BMW 340i and the legendary B58 engine. Launched in 2015, this turbocharged straight six wasn't just another upgrade. It was a statement. A message that said, we've learned our lesson. And learn they did. The B58 became the mechanical heartbeat of BMW's revival, landing a permanent spot on Ward's 10 best engines list year after year. It's the kind of engine that just works. No drama, no tantrums, just smooth, consistent, addictive power. It starts at 320 horsepower, but with a few tweaks, it can push close to 380. And when that turbo spools up, the sound alone reminds you why BMW built its reputation on driving pleasure. But here's the twist. This isn't just a thrill machine. It's reliable. Owners report these engines running well past 150,000 miles, with nothing but regular maintenance. Oil leaks? Minor? Electrical issues? Rare? Catastrophic failures? Practically non-existent, unless someone tried to tune it into oblivion. That's the catch. If you buy one of these beauties, check its history. If it's been modified by someone who thought YouTube mechanics was a career path, walk away. But a stock, well cared for B58? That's a car you can drive like you stole it, and still hand it down to your kids. The BMW 340i represents everything enthusiasts love about BMW. Reborn. Power, elegance, and balance. Except now it comes without the anxiety of a $3,000 repair bill every few months. It's the perfect blend of performance and peace of mind, a rare combination in the luxury world. And while BMW's redemption was mechanical, the next brand's miracle was emotional, because the following car didn't just fix its image, it restored faith in an entire company that was running out of excuses. For years, Audi carried a curse: gorgeous designs, thrilling performance, and the reliability of a wet paper bag. Owners loved how Audis looked and drove, right up until the moment something expensive exploded under the hood. But then came the Audi Q5, and its angrier twin, the SQ5, the cars that broke that pattern and gave Audi fans a reason to believe again. The 2017 Q5 was a turning point. By then, Audi had quietly reworked its engines, electronics, and transmission systems, solving years of nagging issues that plagued earlier models. The result? One of the most dependable crossovers ever to wear the four rings. The Q5's 3.0-liter supercharged V6 became the heart of the comeback. It produced 272 horsepower in the standard version and a muscular 354 horses in the SQ5. And it wasn't just fast, it was durable. Owners started noticing something rare for a German luxury SUV. No major recalls, no recurring mechanical nightmares, and no random dashboard Christmas lights of doom. The 2017 models, in particular, earned one of the highest reliability ratings Audi had ever received, a clean 82 from J.D. Power, and the complaints from earlier years, gone. Transmission, solid, electrical, clean, engine, practically bulletproof. And for those who love numbers, the SQ5 could sprint from 0 to 60 in just 5.1 seconds, fast enough to make a Porsche driver nervous. So what changed? Audi stopped overcomplicating things. They focused on refinement, tightened up the manufacturing, and prioritized quality over flashy innovation. The result was a crossover that could thrill you on a mountain pass one day and calmly cruise through rush hour traffic the next, without a single warning light in sight. You can find one of these machines for surprisingly reasonable prices today. A clean 2017 SQ5 costs less than some compact SUVs, yet gives you luxury, speed, and peace of mind all in one package. For a brand once mocked for unreliability, that's more than redemption, that's reinvention. But while Audi was busy fixing its image, another Japanese powerhouse was quietly perfecting luxury longevity. It's not flashy, not fast, but it's the reason Lexus dominates dependability rankings year after year. Every luxury brand has that one model that defines it. For Lexus, that crown belongs to the RX 350, the car that quietly built an empire while everyone else was busy chasing headlines. This wasn't just another SUV. It was the world's first luxury crossover, debuting back in the late 90s when the idea of a luxury family SUV sounded ridiculous. Yet somehow, Lexus saw the future and built it before anyone else could. Fast forward nearly 30 years, and the RX is still one of the most bulletproof vehicles on the road. The secret? That naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6, a masterpiece of simplicity and precision. It doesn't need turbos, superchargers, or complex hybrid systems to prove a point. It just works, smooth, quiet, and unbothered by time. The 2018 RX 350, for example, earned an incredible 86 out of 100 reliability rating from J.D. Power, numbers you almost never see in the luxury segment. And while other brands release a new generation every few years to hide their issues, Lexus just keeps refining the same formula, one careful tweak at a time. It's also surprisingly efficient for a mid-sized luxury SUV, returning up to 31 miles per gallon on the highway. A small miracle for something this comfortable. And that comfort, top tier. Every surface inside the cabin feels deliberate. Every button, solid. The RX doesn't scream luxury, it whispers it. Sure, it has flaws. The infotainment system feels like it was designed in a previous decade, and the cargo space isn't perfect for long road trips. But when the worst thing you can say about a car is that the touchscreen feels dated, that's not a problem. That's perspective. Because reliability is luxury, and Lexus understood that long before anyone else. Still, while the RX redefined what dependable comfort looks like, the next vehicle did something no one thought possible. It took Porsche's raw performance DNA and packed it into an SUV that drives like a sports car and lasts like a Lexus. It shouldn't exist, but it does. An SUV that drives like a purebred sports car, corners like a coupe, and still manages to hold up like a Toyota. Meet the Porsche Macan, the SUV that proved Porsche could cheat the laws of physics and reliability at the same time. When it launched in 2014, skeptics rolled their eyes. Another luxury crossover, they said. It'll handle well, but it'll brake like every other German SUV. Except it didn't. Year after year, the Macan racked up glowing reviews and rock-solid reliability scores, often ranking as the best compact luxury SUV in its class. The secret was simple. Porsche didn't cut corners. The Macan was built with the same obsessive attention to detail as the 911, just taller and more practical. Underneath, it came with a choice of engines, a powerful 4-cylinder, a silky 6-cylinder, and in turbo form, an absolute beast that punched out serious performance numbers while staying surprisingly trouble-free. Even the interior feels more handcrafted than assembled. Everything fits with the precision of a watch. And that's not just aesthetic, it's engineering discipline. Because when you build cars this well, things simply don't break. Sure, it's not flawless. Early 2015 models had minor quirks like exhaust bracket cracks and timing chain cover leaks. But that's nitpicking, not deal-breaking. Most owners report years of driving without a single major failure. And in the luxury world, that's almost unheard of. The best part? You don't need to spend a fortune to own one. A clean, used 2015 make and turbo can be found for under $45,000, giving you Porsche performance without Porsche-level problems. This SUV proved that luxury and longevity don't have to be enemies. They can coexist beautifully. It's the kind of car that looks expensive, feels expensive, and somehow refuses to act expensive when it's time for repairs. And if you think that's impressive, wait until you see the next one. A luxury SUV that's cheaper, roomier, and just as unstoppable. Because the next car on this list doesn't just last, it outlives expectations. We've seen legends, we've seen icons, but now it's time for the underdogs. These are the quiet killers of the luxury world. Cars that don't flaunt their status, yet somehow outlive everything in their class. Every luxury brand dreams of longevity, but Acura actually built it. The MDX, born from Honda's DNA, doesn't just last, it thrives. Its 3.5-liter V6 runs for 300,000 miles with nothing more than oil, filters, and common sense. Owners joke that these things will outlive their mortgages. And they're not wrong. It's not about flash or hype. It's about quietly doing everything right, year after year. If you want luxury without fear, this is the blueprint. Now, for BMW's redemption SUV, the X5. The earlier versions leaked oil like a sieve, but once BMW swapped in the B58 engine, everything changed. Suddenly, the X5 wasn't just powerful, it was dependable. It had the muscle of a sports car, the comfort of a luxury sedan, and reliability that finally matched the badge. The 2018 xDrive 40i in particular hit that sweet spot, refined, strong, and still affordable on the used market. BMW had finally built an SUV that didn't just look unstoppable, it was. The Audi S4, once the poster child for unreliability. Leaky transmissions, worn brakes, turbo nightmares, the list was endless. But in 2012, Audi pulled off a miracle. With the introduction of the 3.0-liter supercharged V6 and Quattro all-wheel drive, the S4 transformed into a reliable powerhouse. It went from a mechanic's paycheck to a driver's dream, sprinting from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, and staying alive to tell the tale. Even better, you can grab one for under $30,000 today. Luxury speed without the pain. No one expected Lincoln to make this list, and that's exactly why it belongs here. The MKZ is the comeback story no one saw coming. Sure, early models had issues, but post-2013 versions, especially the 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6, shocked critics with their performance and consistency. It's comfortable, stylish, and fast, hitting 400 horsepower with barely a hiccup. Just make sure the early coolant issue was fixed, and you'll own one of America's most underrated luxury sedans. By now, it's no surprise that another Lexus made the list. The IS250 is the brand's hidden gem, a compact luxury sedan that refuses to quit. It scored 84 out of 100 in reliability and 87 in resale value, proving that small doesn't mean fragile. Even with over 200,000 miles, it still runs smooth, easy to maintain, and shockingly affordable to repair. It's the car you buy once and never need to replace. And finally, the Porsche Cayenne. It's fast, loud, luxurious, and built like it has something to prove. With up to 570 horsepower on the turbo V8, this SUV hits 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds, faster than some 911S. But here's the twist. It's also reliable, as long as you buy smart. Avoid the air suspension, make sure the transfer case was replaced, and stick to the post-2018 V6 models. Follow those rules, and you'll own an SUV that drives like a supercar and lives like a Lexus. These are the real luxury survivors, proof that reliability and elegance can live under the same hood. Each one rewrote the rulebook, showing that true luxury isn't about price tags or brand prestige. It's about how far you can go without fear. Because when your car keeps turning heads and turning on, after 10 years, that's not just reliability, that's legacy. And if you want to see which car brands secretly outperform Toyota in reliability, don't miss our next video, because the results will shock you and might just change how you see luxury forever.